Hello everyone. Rav King back again with you with some more anatomy talk. Today I wanted to talk a little more about low back pain, but not just the entirety of low back pain, but what's one of those things that we might be missing in your treatments, and something that you should be asking your massage therapist about. So in previous talks we have talked about the psoas major muscle here and how he can pull the low back out of position, causing pain. We've talked about the hamstrings and the quads here and how they can be pulling the pelvis out of position, causing the low back pain. And definitely all these hip muscles through here can do very much the same thing, causing bad position with the pelvis, which moves its way up to the low back, causing tight muscles and pinching down on nerves, right? One in particular is this big sciatic nerve right here, who originates from the low back and into the sacrum. Now, I'm not saying that addressing the position of the pelvis in the low back and the tight muscles around it are always going to solve low back pain. But it is a really good place to start. But what happens when you kind of go through all those steps with your massage therapist and you're working at this low back pain, trying everything around the low back and the pelvis and the thighs, but still not getting the results that you want? Well, today let's look at something that is kind of remarkable in my opinion, and it should be addressed in your sessions. But let's go ahead and bring our attention to the calves here. A lot of the times, when it comes to our low back treatments, we're not thinking about our calves. We're thinking about the low back, hips, psoas, like I said before, even the quads and the hamstrings because of their influence. But it's very rare that we bring our attention down to the calves and we make sure that we're thoroughly working this particular trigger point I'm going to tell you about. So if you reach behind your calf, you're going to reach to the gastrocnemius muscle, and this isn't the muscle that we're paying attention to right now. It is a gorgeous muscle though, but deep to that, right? So I'm going to peel that back and we're going to have the soleus muscle. I love all the different pronunciations in anatomy, by the way. But this muscle right here is a deep calf muscle that will actually blend together deep calf muscle that blends together with your calcaneal tendon, your Achilles tendon, wraps around your heel, and blends together with the plantar fascia, the plantar aponeurosis. Now, if anyone's heard of plantar fasciitis before, that's what that's centered around. This piece of fascia right here, this sheath, this very important sheet of fascia, and it blends together with it, making a very powerful motion of being able to push yourself up off the ground if you were to stand on your toes right now, right? This is kind of the big initiator of that. What it also does, though, is it makes sure that this big bone right here, your tibia, is centered over all of these wonderful ankle bones through here, all the bones of your feet that blend together into your ankle, because there's a lot of different bones around there, and it's a bit of a balancing act. So he's also responsible for making sure that all fits together, which again comes back to position. If you have a lot of slumped over type of posture throughout your day and you're standing as well, these guys have to fire a lot. They have to almost stay tight all the time in order to keep you upright. And what can happen is, just like with any muscle, you can form a trigger point. You can form a knot. It's literally just a knot of muscle fibers. Now, a lot of the time, these muscle fibers being knotted up will send pain somewhere else, a pain referral zone, as it's commonly referred to. This right here isn't really all that phenomenal. It just kind of follows the pathway of the nerve a lot of the time. There have been some weird occurrences though, and I think this is one of those weird occurrences where we have a knot in the calf, and it's not necessarily sending pain down into the foot, right? It'll kind of isolate itself right through here, and then it will skip the thigh, kind of like with the subscap muscle, how it would skip the arm and then go to the wrist. We are starting here, skipping all this, and actually presenting a pain referral zone in the low back right here. So sometimes, as you work through all these muscles, through all the QLs and the deep hip rotators and the glute muscles and all that wonderful stuff, but you're not getting the results, check down here in the calf. See how tight your calves are, and if you press down in this area and this flares up, you know for sure that you need to be working your soleus muscle. Well, that's all I got for you today with some of this muscle talk. Join us next time for another exciting experience, and hey, I'll see you then. Take care, everyone.